a while since I've ridden this bike. It's the one that I fixed up for my dad. Probably have a nice cape going right now with my shirt flapping up in the air. So I'm going to try and do a run down to River Road and talk about what I've been doing with Run with Rob, my Speed Triple project. I recorded a short video talking about what my plans are and what it looks like I'll need to do to the Speed Triple to get it up and running. Front brake feels okay. A little mushy, but that'll get bled out. We need to get new banjo bolts and possibly lines. Definitely need to get custom length lines. I might just have them get a set of the customizable, I can't remember what brand they are, but Revival Cycles has a whole kit that you can make your own lines to exactly the length you need. So I might do that over Christmas with them. God, this thing is so light compared to my Diavel or Diavel. It just hops around and flicks like mad. I think even compared to my Speed Triple, this thing is just worlds lighter. Now I know my Triple stock was like 418 pounds. And I know I've shaved some weight off of it. Does not have remotely the power of my Diavel. People tend to drive real slow in Ohio. So, let's see how this bike does down a moderately twisty road. I'll be showing you the road that I grew up on riding motorcycles, and the thing that kind of makes me sad is that I can ride it one-handed nowadays. Well, I guess that's a good thing. It shows how much my skills have improved by leaps and bounds since I was a kid and just puckering like mad through what I would now consider a fairly relaxed corner. But I have to take it somewhat easy on these tires because I've never ridden on them before, and I have no idea if there's grease or anything on the sides. So this will be a nice chill run. So back to talking about the Speed Triple. I've got all the electronics for it except for a stator, a battery, and maybe a few connectors here and there, but I do have a full set of waterproof connectors that I'll probably ship with me over Christmas when I come out. But looking at the bike and seeing things like, oh, the master cylinder on the brakes is leaking, so I've got no brake pressure. That's obviously going to need a rebuild kit. And who knows if it'll be cheaper just to buy a very new master cylinder on eBay from a wrecked bike. That's stuff I've got to look into. But I do have a matching set of Patsa levers on my current master cylinder, so hopefully I can get a seal kit for that master cylinder. It's a Nissan. Yeah, Nissan. It's really nice, really big diameter. It's got really good stopping power when it's working, but I think it just sat in the garage for too many years, and eventually the fluid or whatever corroded or just dry rot ate up the seals, and it's leaking at the pump. So got to get that fixed. Who knows what kind of condition the calipers are in, so I may have to get seals for the pistons. I've got Goodrich speed bleeders all around, so that shouldn't need any messing with. And I think the rear brake felt okay. The rear brake is stock. That thing has always been fine. It locked up the rear wheel with no problem whatsoever. I used to practice. Locking up my rear wheel in the rain to get a feel for when the bike would start sliding, and I'd do the same thing with the front end, easing onto the front brakes until I could feel the front start slipping. And that practice back when I was in my early 20s and late teens is a large part of why I've never crashed on the street. I've had times where cars have done stupid crap and I've had to come to the point of dragging the rear wheel or modulating the rear tire traction with the rear brake just up to the point where it starts to lock, then let off, then lock and let off, kind of like human ABS. And then kind of the same thing with the front, like you could feel the front start to skid, so you let off just a little bit and you just stay right at that point of optimal braking. And I've had to slide the bike. I did that once on the 1098 when a minivan closed the gap on me while filtering up to a stoplight, and I got the bike sliding almost sideways, and I came to a stop at probably a 30-degree angle before, with like maybe 6 inches to their bumper. I was so pissed. This person did not need to close the gap on me, but they did anyway. I don't know if they saw me coming and did it on purpose or were just being a dumbass, but either way, it was not cool. So that braking and practice and stuff, that did all that on the Speed Triple. And that's a large part of why I want to resurrect that bike, is because it got me the initial leaps and bounds to where my skills are nowadays. And I want to do it a service and thank the machine for keeping me alive. It's just a fantastic bike when it's up and running and cleaned up. So should be a fun project, but it's looking like it's going to take a while. I don't know that I'm going to be getting it running over Christmas, because I'm going to have to do the brake stuff, obviously, because I don't want to be going down the road and not have brakes. So while I may get the electronics done over Christmas, the rest of the stuff is going to be a work in progress for I don't know how long. But every time I come home, I'm going to try and do a little bit to it. We've got Honda East in Maumee, Ohio. That's not far from home. And I can just stop down there and get parts. So while this is a light bike and it handles beautifully, yeah, the power, I definitely like my Speed Triple's power better. Speed Triple, man, you get on it at first and the front end just wants to hop up. Second gear, you slip the clutch a tiny bit and it just wants to hop up. It's a flat out hooligan bike, and it's built like a tank.